Good morning, sisters. Okay, so I'm starting this channel for you specifically. You guys know who you are. I love you all very much, and I just wanted to share with you guys kind of my dipping process, how I do it, the products that I use. So I'll start uploading videos so you guys can check those out. It's just easier for us to kind of share our experiences that way. So this is my very first video, and I'm just going to go through kind of my setup and really my products. I'm also going to link down below the Facebook groups and products that I use. They'll be linked for you. So hopefully you guys can figure out your own way of going about your dip journey. Okay, so here's my setup. All right, I am currently just working out of my bathroom. I have just a little folding table here. I got a little rubber mat from a clear jelly stamper site, which is really nice to work on. And obviously I've got me a nice little light here so I could see. Proper lighting is huge, and I have horrible lighting in my bathroom. Like, that's really all I have. And then that window back there behind me. So lighting is key. So this is huge for me. And then obviously you need a place to store all your stuff. When you guys first start out, or if you've already started out, obviously you're not going to be as OCD as me, but eventually it might get there. So I just grabbed like this little shelf thing that I had like in the house for years, and I converted that to my little tool caddy. And then my coveted and oh so precious drawer of dips. Actually don't know how many dips I have right now. I have not counted them in a while. The drawer kind of goes back a little further. I usually just lift my drawer and pull it out so that way I can reach all my colors. And as you guys can see, I am not like one company specific. I do like to try different companies. I started out with Peppi Gel. I love Peppi Gel powders, so that's the most that I have. But I also have some Sparkle and Co. I have some Zooty. I have some Dipalicious. And I've purchased some just like custom colors off women on the buy sell trade groups. And I've also made my own mixes. If I didn't like a specific color, I would try to mix it, or if I wanted to dupe a color, duplicate a color, I've tried to do that. So that drawer is full. It's precious to me. I love it so very much. So obviously when you start your dipping journey, you're going to need your dip colors. I'm going to link some of the places that I get them from down below, so that way you guys can go through and see the colors that they have. Some of these women are just really amazing, and they make some awesome colors. Okay, so along with your dip, obviously the first things that you're going to get, if you do Peppi, okay, Peppi was my very first dipping system that I got. And with the system, I believe you get a full-size color, you get the 3 dipping liquids. I don't have the number 1. For some reason, my number 1 would always just go really bad for me. It would get goopy, or the bottles would get stuck closed. I'm sure that a lot of that is because of me not doing proper nail care, proper bottle care, making sure that I'm not getting the liquid on the outside of the bottle, making sure that I'm wiping between brushes. Who knows? But I just had so many issues. I just kind of stopped using these dip liquids, but that will be another video for later. I'll explain how I do my nails now. But so you want to start out, I think they give you 3 liquids. You get like a buffer block. Obviously you get a nice new one, and I think that's all you get in the kit. And I can't remember exactly how much it is, but I think it's totally worth it. It might be like $65 or something. I think it's totally worth it to get started. It's totally gonna be going to the salon every 2 weeks and paying $40 to $60 to get your nails done, okay? All right. When I started having trouble with my Peppi liquids, I did purchase some Dipalicious liquids, and I must say that I have not had any trouble at all with the bottles or the liquids with Dipalicious. So I don't know what that is, but I really, really like her liquids. Even though, again, I don't use these for my nails right now. I'm doing a completely different process. I use gel. So speaking of gel, okay, so when I started having trouble with my bottles and I just kind of got tired of using the dip liquids, I wanted to try using gel, and these are the gels that I use. It's UR Sugar. This is the base coat, and this is the no wipe top coat. However, unlike liquid, where you don't need to use a UV or LED light, you just put your liquids on, you dip, you activate, and you shine, which is a wonderful system. With gel, you do need a UV light. So this is the UV light that I use. It's a very old Sally Henson UV light that I just so happened to get a few years ago at Walgreens. She has a kit where she sells gel nail polishes. I think you get like 1 or 2 gel nail polish colors and the base and top coat and the LED light. I think it was like $40 or $50, but that was many, 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 many years ago. And this is just a 12 volt light. It's an automatic shut off. So it'll, once you plug it in, you push your button and it stays lit for 30 seconds. So if you need like a minute cure or a minute and a half cure, you would just push your button again and stick your hands in there. But I actually, these liquids here, they cure within the 30 seconds, which is beautiful. Sometimes when I do my top coat, if I've done a lot of layers, I may go like a minute or minute and a half. But lately it seems like 30 seconds does it. It's a beautiful thing. So I know a lot of you women go to dipping liquids because you're trying to stay away from the light and the damage that this does to your hands and your fingers. So totally understand, to each his own. I actually am not too worried about that, so that's what I use. Okay, I think another important thing that you need is some sort of cuticle oil. I do use this, but I have a product from Lush called Lemony, what is it? Something Lemony Cuticle Butter, Lemony Flutter Cuticle Butter. And I just went into Lush and asked if they had a cuticle oil, and that's what they had. It was a cuticle butter. I love it. I keep it in my purse. That's why I don't have it up here to show you. I put it on my nails all day long. You know, cuticle care is huge. You can see I need some now because my cuticles are looking jacked. I actually don't have any color on, but this is my clear French pink from Peppi. I took my nails off at my son's school presentation and I didn't want to leave them looking horrible, so I just dipped 2 quick dips of clear, and then this is gel top coat. Okay, what else do I want to show you? So to get started. You need your liquid, you need your powder, right? That's really all you need. You also need a buffing block, okay? This is huge. You are going to need, this is my little tool caddy here. So this is where I keep like all my stuff. You're gonna need nail files, okay? I go through a lot of these. So you wanna make sure you have nail files and some sort of brush, okay? You see I've got a couple. I use different brushes for different things. Sometimes I use a really stiff nail cleaning brush if I have chunky glitters. This is really helpful. Something a little more coarse. But, you know, just something soft that you can brush your excess dip off. Okay, I think I got this on Amazon. It was like super cheap. All right. I also have kind of like little bigger ones. I think I got this one at the dollar store. It's just a brush that I use to dip off, or to brush off, okay. What else is in here that is hugely important? I would say orange sticks, okay? I can't get to mine now. Orange sticks are huge. You can see mine's like all red and it's got like goop on there. I need to buy some more. Oh, excuse my like dust on my mat here. Okay, orange sticks are huge, so that way you can clean around your nails. Let's see if I can kind of get this here so that way I can show you what I'm trying to do. It's probably not gonna work. But basically, when you get your dip in, you want to be able to clean around your cuticles. That way you can have nice clean cuticles, and orange sticks are great for that. Okay. You can see these are just kind of like my practice swatches sometimes. I put my swatches on there. Okay. Obviously you're going to need some sort of nail kit, okay? Huge. These are my cuticle snippers. I don't usually snip my cuticles, but it's good to have this. I use this like every Peppi for just different things, my nails, my cuticles, whatever. And then something that has like a flat head side. This I use a lot when, or I used to use a lot when I was removing my manicure. I would just scrape the residue off the top of my nail with that, or I would go along my cuticle line and scrape. So you definitely need a manicure set. Okay. Talked about a buffing block. Actually, this is just a nail clipper that I use when I put false nails on to shorten them. A lot of these things I don't use, so all these little brushes I'll use if I'm trying to do an ombre. I may use one of my little fluffy brushes, and these I just had from like my makeup drawer that I never used. This was the matching set with that other one. It was like from the dollar store. I'll talk about that in a few. These are just, you know, little things that dotting tools for decorating. I think you'll get more in depth into that the further you go. And nail guards. I love nail guards. So these are like little strips of plastic that you put on your nail before you even begin dipping, and it makes removal like a dream. So removal for me used to take maybe 5-10 minutes per hand. When I use nail guards, it's like 30 seconds because I keep them on until either they pop off themselves or until they're lifting, and then you literally just pop off the nail or the dip, and it's wonderful. If you want to change it before it's ready to come off, like maybe you've only had it on for a week or whatever, then I just simply use a lemon essential oil. I got this on Amazon as well. And I just put a drop of this at my cuticle, and I'll use like a tool, you know, something like this, to just get under, and I allow the extract or the essential oil to get down in there, and it dissolves the nail guard, and it leaves my nails smelling wonderful. My nails are strong and healthy. I cannot say enough good things about nail guards. If you're trying to do a manicure that lasts 2 weeks or more, you know, for time purposes or for whatever reason, it's probably not the best thing. I don't think I've ever gotten 2 weeks out of using nail guards, but I've definitely gone 7 to 10 days. So that's something that you may want to consider. I actually get these from Dashing Diva's website directly because they're only $5 for a pack of 54. I think on Amazon it's like an insanely jacked up price. I don't know why, but they do sell out a lot, unfortunately. So when they're in stock, as you can see, I stock up. I purchase a bunch, so I have a bunch of those. Okay, what else is in my little caddy besides files? I think that's pretty much it for starting. Okay, now I'll move down here. So buffing and filing is a huge part of getting your dip to look amazing, okay? And I found that sometimes I'm just lazy, or I'm just, you know, not in the mood to file that much. So I actually purchased a drill off of Amazon, and this is just, you know, a little nail drill. I've already got one of my little diamond head drill bits on there. So this kit comes with the drill, and obviously the cord is in there, and it came with like this little box, which is all cloudy now because of, like, I spilled acetone on it. But let's see if I can get this open while I hold the camera. Okay, so it comes with some drill bits. I've got one on the drill already, and then I lost one. I lost my favorite one. It went down the drain, so I gotta purchase some more. But that is that. So that I use my drill when I'm ready to file down and buff my nails. So it's usually after my step 2. Okay, step 1, which I'm missing in Peppi, but I have it in Dipalicious. Okay, so step 1, you apply your step 1, you dip your color, brush off excess, step 1, dip, step 1, dip, or however many times you want to do it. Then you apply your activator. That's usually when I will buff, file, or use my e-file. Apply another layer of number 2, making sure that you wipe off before you apply your first quick layer of number 3, then your second more concentrated layer of number 3, and that's usually done. So that's how that goes. So usually I'll use my e-file and my buffers when I'm at my step 2 process. Okay, I found this lovely lady. Okay, so she has a company, it's called Liquid Layers, and her either husband or boyfriend, I don't know, they 3D print these really cool little finger helper things. I don't know what they're called, but these are like a lifesaver, especially when you get to filing and buffing. So a lot of times, you know, I'll sit there and I try to brace my nail with my thumb, or I've got it on a table. This just lets you grab this and it just holsters your finger. It gives you some little stability here, and you can file and buff. You can do your steps, your processes if you wanted. It's just so cute. I love them. I bought 3 of these, but you really only need 1. She also 3D prints a holder for like your dips, so it holds it on an angle, like, so you could just dip in there. I think she also 3D prints holders for your liquids, so that way they're like on an angle. So I'll link that page below as well if you're interested in purchasing any of these products from her. It was wonderful. Okay, so that's that. I think a super duper important thing to have is alcohol rubbing wipes. You could just get these anywhere. You get them at the dollar store maybe, I think, but definitely Walgreens, CVS, just little alcohol prep pads. I use this when I'm prepping my nails before I even begin step 1. Once I've pushed back my cuticles and I've filed my nails to the shape that they need to be, or if I've applied, you know, tips on, whatever. I always use this right before I do my number 1, or in my case, my gel, to dehydrate the nail bed. So you want to make sure that you don't have any like natural oil from your body on your nail bed when you start. So dehydrating is really important. They do sell things like dehydrators. I don't know what companies have them. I think maybe Sparkle & Co. I'm not sure, but there's companies that have just a dehydrator that they include in their process, but this works just fine and it's so much cheaper. Okay, so I keep that in that little nifty box. In here, I just have like little gauze pads. Haven't really used these for anything. I think I was using them kind of like as wipe up, you know, pads, but I don't really use that. Okay. This is my Sally Hansen Big Matte Top Coat. I do like to use this, and I'll usually use it in place of my number 3 when I want a matte color to my nail. So instead of a shine and I want a matte, I'll do my number 1, my number 2. I have used this over my number 3, but I find that eventually once this starts to wear away, then it kind of looks funny. But I have just used this straight after number 2, and it's given me some really nice matte finish to my nails. Okay, and these are just Peppi nail polish colors. I don't actually use these on my hands, but I use them on my toes, and I absolutely love their polish on my toes. Okay. Down here, I just have more junk. Okay, so that's just stamping polish junk. I have baggies. So this is something that I do use a lot. As you can see right now, my nails are super short, just my natural nails, but I do like to use falsie nails, and these are full, let's see if I can put it here. These are full nails, so these aren't tips, right? So like, I do have tips, which I don't like tips. Okay, so here's my tips. Okay, these are, I do a lot of playing with color. So these are some colors that I was playing with. They're so beautiful. So these are tips that you would just cut away, I guess. Maybe I purchased the wrong tips. I don't know, but these are horrible. What I was doing was cutting away at this extra piece of plastic there to get like the dip shape, or the nail tip shape. And I didn't like this process. I was trying to use them with nail guards, and I didn't really like it. So now I use a full nail, and I glue this on to my nail, and I'll show that in another video, how I do that. So I have my false nails there. I've got, obviously, I've got my, I can't remember what they're called now, but whatever these are. So these are all my colors. Oh, my swatches, that's right. Okay, so these are kind of crazy how much I have, but these are all my colors, guys. Look at that. Actually, I might have colors that I haven't even swatched yet, but I got all of these swatch sticks, 100, off Amazon. So I guess I'm close to 100 colors because I've got some extras here that I haven't used and a couple over there that I practice with. But yeah, that's it. And then that's my coarse brush. And always want to have a towel or paper towel handy because you definitely need to wipe your brushes in between. I can explain that more later. And acetone. So this is 100% acetone. Use that to remove the dip when I just put it straight onto my nail without using a nail guard, which I haven't had to do in a while. I am not a fan of sticking my hand in acetone, but sometimes when I have to, I do it. So let's talk about the removal. So what I use when I was just strictly dipping with dip liquids onto my natural nail, meaning not using a nail guard or any of this fancy stuff, just purchased my first kit and went with that. So to remove was definitely a learning process. They suggest that you grab like a Ziploc baggie, okay, and you put a paper towel in there and you put just, you know, enough acetone to just kind of soak the paper towel and maybe a little extra, and then you sit there with that on your hand for 5-10 minutes and it comes off. I found through a lot of ladies following the Facebook groups, someone suggested using rice, and I found that this was my butter. Okay, when it was time to remove, I went and bought a bag of rice. I bought this rice probably like a year ago. Okay, so this is just dry rice. I put them in 2 little containers, and when I'm ready to remove my Peppi, I'll pop this in the microwave. This is usually down in my kitchen in a cabinet. I pop this in the microwave with the lid off. I'll microwave it maybe for like 30 to 45 seconds. You don't want it too hot where it's, you know, cooking your acetone, but you want it really nice and warm. So once this is warm, what I do is I then fill my baggie. Let me open that. Okay, so like say this is nice warm rice. I'll fill my baggie just a little bit, just enough acetone so that there's liquid in there. And I'll grab a old dryer sheet from one of my, you know, laundry baskets after I've done laundry. And I'll stick that in there, and that just helps to kind of rub off the dip. And I'll bury my hand with the acetone, can you see that? In the hot rice, in the warm rice, okay? And I'll just bury it in there. And I promise you, your dip comes off in like 5 minutes. So definitely worth giving that a try. And then the rice obviously is reusable as long as your bag doesn't break and leak acetone into your rice. You can just cover that up and put that away for later. Again, I've had this rice in here probably for about a year now. So that's how I would recommend removing your dip process with 100% acetone. I obviously don't do that. There'll be a video on that. I think the last thing I wanted to show you is Peppi Gel. So I got into dipping or creating false nails with Peppi Gel. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos on it before I jumped in and did it. But so what Peppi Gel is you get these like little forms, okay? They're like little little nails. They're shaped like little nails, and they have like tabs on them. Let me see if I can get one open really quick to show you. I'm gonna grab a big one. Okay. So here's a form. You can see I already used this one, okay? They are reusable. So basically what you do is you mold the poly gel material into this form here. And then, let's see if I can do this. And then, let's do this, okay. So once you've got it formed in here, you then place that form onto your finger and you cure it in your LED or UV light. And once it's cured for like 30 seconds, you just pop off this form and you've got this beautiful nail, okay? It takes practice for sure. It really does. But it's actually not as hard as you would think. The poly gel is super easy to work with because it doesn't cure until you put it in the UV light. So you can put as much or as little of the material on the form. You know, if you put too much, you can take some away. If you didn't put enough, you can add a little bit more, and you can keep manipulating it so that it's not super thick. Comes in a couple different colors. I got this set off of Amazon. It came with a pink natural color, a clear, and a white. And I have used all three. It also comes with this cute little glass, which is filthy right now. This is where you put your slip solution, which you can see mine is empty because I just used the last of it. You just pour a little tiny amount in there, and it also comes with the actual brush. So let me show you the two-sided brush that it comes with. Okay, so this is a scraper. This is the side that you just scrape the poly gel off with, and then you stick it in your form. And this is the brush side. So you dip your brush into the solution, and then that's how you mold the actual nail. And then you just use your light to cure it. So I really, really, really love using poly gel when I don't feel like, you know, this to me is the fastest and easiest way to get length, because I just literally glue these on and then I start dipping. But sometimes I don't feel like doing that, and I'll just make a really quick thin form and then dip. So it's really just about what you are going to prefer doing. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with just dipping over your beautifully natural nails, whether they're short or long. I think either way, you're going to love the 3-step process. You don't need to go through all of this. I do, because you know me already. I'm extremely extra, extremely OCD, but I hope that this video at least helps you figure out where to start, okay? And then maybe what some of the tools that you might need to get started. So if you have any questions, obviously my sisters call me, but if anyone else that is watching this that isn't my sister or my sister by blood, we're all nail sisters here, definitely, I guess, leave a comment below. I don't really know how that works, but I think you can leave comments and I'll read the comments. Please be nice. If you're not, I don't really care, but leave a comment below, leave your questions below. I'll try to leave all the links and all the products and all that good stuff down there, so that way hopefully this is like your one-stop shop for kind of like a beginner's guide to where to start. So happy nailing. That was like so gay. I'm sorry.